Hello, good morning everybody. Myself 𝘉𝘈𝘚𝘈𝘈, YouTubers, welcome to my King English online channel. Today I am in 𝘄𝗶𝘁 Coaching Center, Gokak. In the previous classes, dear students, we studied prepositions. I taught you number of prepositions. Well, today it is 18th August 2025. Today I'm going to teach you British Council related to English. I'm going to teach you conjunctions. You know what is conjunctions? Conjunction is one of the parts of speeches, or you can say one of the parts of communication. This is the seventh part of the communication, that is conjunction. Let us begin with the definition. Students, conjunctions is nothing but a connecting word, or you can say a linker. In Kannada we say Jodana Pada. Now question is, why we use conjunctions? Namage conjunctions yake beku? The reason is to connect or to join two nouns, or to connect to pronounce, or to connect two lengthy sentences, or to connect two or more idea units. We need conjunctions. And the reason itself is to bring the right communication. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಕಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ ನ ಜೋಡಣ ಪದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಜೋಡಣ ಪದವನ್ನ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಳಸಬೇಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಎರಡು ನಾಮಪದಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯ ಅಥವಾ ಎರಡು ಸರ್ವನಾಮಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯ, ಎರಡು ಉದ್ದನೆ ವಾಕ್ಯಗಳ ಮಧ್ಯ ಜೋಡಿಸಿದಾಗ ಅರ್ಥಗರ್ಭಿತವಾದಂತ ವಾಕ್ಯವನ್ನ ರಚಿಸಲು ನಾವು ಬಳಸುವಂತದ್ದು ಕಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ conjunction. English ಅಲ್ಲಿ we say connector or linker. In Kannada we can say jodana pada. You may ask me, what is the profundity of conjunction? ಇದರ ಆಳ ಏನಿದೆ? How deep it is? Yes, it can be. Conjunctions can be classified into three parts majorly. This is what classification. Number one, coordinate conjunctions. Second, subordinate conjunctions, and finally correlative conjunctions. Students, you know, when we use the coordinate and subordinate conjunctions, it is not a new topic for us. Already we have studied in school days, especially for 10 students for state syllabus. If you are a CBSE and ICSE, of course you might have learned during your 8th, 7th, 8th or 9th grade, and it is quite compulsory for school children. How we use it? We use coordinate conjunctions for compound sentences. We use the subordinate conjunctions in complex sentences, and correlative conjunctions also used in day-to-day life of communication, grammar, state government exams, central government exams, banking exams, and defense exam. And it is quite natural, quite possible for school and college learning. Well, this is what? Simple to compound sentence, compound to complex sentence. We need conjunctions. Or in the exams, the questions might be asked in the style of complex sentence to compound, or compound to simple. We need all these kinds of conjunctions. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ನಿನ್ನೆ ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೆ, ಬ್ರಿಟಿಷ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾನು ಈ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಜನತೆಗೆ, ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಶಾಲಾ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ, ಹಾಗೆ ಯಾರು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕನ್ನಡ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಶಾಲೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಧ್ಯಮ ಶಾಲೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಹಿಂದಿ, ಉರ್ದು ಮೀಡಿಯಂ ಶಾಲೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ಶಿಕ್ಷಕರಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾತೃಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಉದ್ದೇಶದಿಂದ ಎರಡು ಭಾಷೆನ ಇವತ್ತು ಡ್ಯುಯಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷು ಹಾಗೂ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೂ. ಮುಂಬರುವ ದಿನಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಹಲವಾರು ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಹಿಂದಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಮರಾಠಿ, ತೆಲುಗು, ತಮಿಳ್ ಈ ರೀತಿ ಮಾಡುವಂತ ನಂದೊಂದು ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಇದೆ, ಖಂಡಿತ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಈ ಮೂರು ಕಂಜಂಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ಇದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾನು ಕ್ಲಬ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಕಂಬೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇವತ್ತು ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಬನ್ನಿ ನೋಡೋಣ ಒಂದೊಂದಾಗಿ. Well, conjunctions, the very first one is and. It is not and, we pronounce it and. And in the sense, ಮತ್ತು. or you can say hagu. Hindi le ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ or. The Ramayana, the Bible and Quran are the Quran are epics. What do you mean by and in the sense mattu? When we use it, why we use it? In your sentence, when there are more than 2 or 3 names or 3 nouns, before the last noun, we must use article and. ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದಿಷ್ಟೇನೆ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ವಾಕ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ 2ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ನಾಮಪದಗಳು ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ನಾಮಪದಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾಮಾ ಬಳಸ್ತಾ ಹೋಗಿ ಕೊನೆಯ ನಾಮಪದದ ಮುಂಚೆ ಆಯ್ಕೆ ಬಳಸಲೇಬೇಕು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್. ನೋಡೋಣ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂತ. ದ ರಾಮಾಯಣ, ದ ಬೈಬಲ್ ಅಂಡ್ ದ ಕುರಾನ್ ಆರ್ ಎಪಿಕ್ಸ್. ಅರ್ಥ, ರಾಮಾಯಣ, ಬೈಬಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕುರಾನ್ ಇವು ಧರ್ಮ ಗ್ರಂಥಗಳಾಗಿವೆ. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಆಡ್ ಮಹಾಕಾವ್ಯಗಳು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಅಂಡ್. Secondly, so in the sense what reason you are giving, why so, why did you do so, why it happened so, ಕಾರಣ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ इसलिए, उसलिए, उसके वजह से, like veg is the best, so I enjoy it, so I eat it, so I consume it. Veg is nothing but ಸಸ್ಯಾಹಾರ. ಸಸ್ಯಾಹಾರ ಸರ್ವಶ್ರೇಷ್ಠವಾದದ್ದು. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ತಿನ್ನೋದನ್ನ. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಯೂಸ್. ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಯೂಸ್ therefore, you can also use that is why. All use the same meaning but different usages we have. Let's move to the third one. Third one is but. What do you mean by but? Adare. In Hindi, lekin. Right? In Telugu, endukante. Something you say, no? Like but, adare, kyunki, like. English is easy, but bit confusing. Very simple sentence. The language English is easy, but confusing. Why? Because when we compare Hindi grammar rules to English, when we compare Kannada grammar rules to English, of course there are some rules. There is a difference between the rules. There is a difference among the exceptions. That's the reason I told you English is easy. English ಸುಲಭವಾಗಿದೆ, ಆದರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಗೊಂದಲಮಯವಾಗಿದೆ. So but is what? ಆದರೆ. Next one, therefore. What do you mean by therefore? Therefore is nothing but ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ. ಇಸಿಲಿಯೇ, something you say, right? Therefore, ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ. Let's look at the sentence. Spoken English is a part of life. Nowadays, you know very well, dear students, dear aspirants, dear teachers, language English is part of life. It has become. If you want to go for any corporate jobs, if you want to work in call center, BPO, you want to go abroad, English is mandatory. Of course, most of the countries they need they ask for communication in English or writing something else. That's the reason there are foreign languages. They are known as TOEFL and IELTS. They are nothing but LSRWC. L is listening, S is speaking, R is reading, W is writing. LSRW, they make you a beaten path. That's the reason I told you spoken English is a part of life. Therefore, I learn it. Therefore, I learn. What do you mean by therefore? ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, ಈಸಲಿಯೇ, right? So spoken English is a part of life. ಮಾತು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತನಾಡುವಂಥದ್ದು ಜೀವನ ಒಂದು ಭಾಗವಾಗಿದೆ. Therefore, ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ I learn, ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಕಲಿತೇನೆ. Next one is number 5, because. Most of the people and teachers pronounce it because, not like that. We pronounce it because. What do you mean by because? Because is nothing but ಏಕೆಂದರೆ. In Telugu you say endukante. In English, why? Because. You say because. Why? Because most of both are of same meaning but the usage is different. Because ಏಕೆಂದರೆ. I'm late because I woke up late today. The reason, when you go to school, college or office, your boss will ask you, or your teachers are going to ask you, why are you late? Then give the reason. No, that's because I'm late. ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ವಿಳಂಬವಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ, ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ತಡವಾಗಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಏಕೆಂದರೆ I woke up late today. ನಾನು ಇವತ್ತು ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎಚ್ಚರವಾಗಿದ್ದೆ ತಡವಾಗಿ, ಎಚ್ಚರವಾಗಿದ್ದೆ ವಿಳಂಬವಾಗಿ. That is what because is the meaning. Well, number 6 is yet. What is yet? People think that yet has a different faces, different aspects. People say yet in the sense, had your lunch, you say, not yet you say. Some people say, had your lunch, yet to have, you say. It is not that yet. Because that yet is preposition of time. Now this yet is nothing but, let's see. Madam 𝘉𝘈𝘚𝘈𝘈 is rich. Why rich? Filthy rich. She is aristocratic. Madam 𝘉𝘈𝘚𝘈𝘈. Madam 𝘉𝘈𝘚𝘈 is rich yet simple. Or you can say yet simple living. Or you can say yet down to earth. What do you mean by yet? Aaದರೂ, फिर भी. You say no? That is the meaning here. Got it? Well, next one is well. Again, our students are baffled with using the with. What is with? Most people say, मेरे साथ, उनके साथ, नम जोतेगे, और जोतेगे. Not really. That is preposition of place. Here, with, when we use as a conjunction, it is nothing but a combination. Combination we say. Look at the example. Idli vada with the sambar. Idli vada with sambar. What is idli vada sambar? Combination. Eatables combination. Idli vada with chutney, condiment you say. What is this? Combination. Not jotege, not uske saath, right? Idli vada with sambar is really delicious. What is delicious? Swadishta, ruchikara, right? Something you say. Means idli sambaru nijavaglu ruchikaravagirute. This is a combination, not jotege, dear students and dear teacher. Look at the next, number 8. It is down. Most of the people pronounce it though. It is not though, it is down. What do you mean by thou? Aaದರೂ, ಆದಾಗ್ಯೂ, फिर भी. Something you say like. Look at the example. Physician. Physician is nothing but a family doctor. You can say doctor. Doctor is known as physician. Physician advised him not to smoke. A person went with, sir, I have to give up the smoking. ನಾನು ಧೂಮಪಾನ ಬಿಡಬೇಕಿದೆ ಸರ್, ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ? So physician, he gave him some medicine, he prescribed some medicine, along with he gave him an advice, a piece of advice. What is that advice? Physician advised him not to smoke. Physician, doctor ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ವೈದ್ಯರು, ನೀನು ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಡಪ್ಪ. Though he smokes, ಆದ್ರೂ ಸ್ಮೋಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ. In the sense what? Advice ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಕೂಡ, उसको सलाह देते हुए भी अभी भी वो धूमपान कर रहा है. This is what we say. That is called thou children. Next one is as thou. Children, thou and as thou are not the same. There is a drastic difference between thou and as thou. What do you mean by as thou? As thou in the sense nothing but जैसे, ऐसे, something you say in Hindi. In Kannada you say ante, hage, avarante, ivarante, avara hage, ivara hage. That is as thou. As thou has one more space. In the place of as though, you can also use as if, as though. Both are same. Look at this example. The boy speaks. What do you mean by the boy? Here, definite article is used. The boy in the sense of specific boy. ವಿಶೇಷವಾಗಿ ಆ ಹುಡುಗ, ಈ ಹುಡುಗ, ಅಥವಾ ಈ ಹುಡುಗ, ಆ ಹುಡುಗ. So when you say specifically, you say not particularly. That is what? Specific. The boy, oh ladka, ಆ ಹುಡುಗ. The boy speaks as though Sri Siddaramaiah. Who is Siddaramaiah? Our Chief Minister of Karnataka. Here, the style of Siddaramaiah, the speaking style of Siddaramaiah is copied by, mimicked by the boy, Ahuduga. Means the boy speaks as the Sri Siddaramaiah. Ahuduga ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನಂದ್ರೆ ಶ್ರೀ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಾದಂತ ಶ್ರೀ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯವರ ಹಾಗೆಯೇ, ಶ್ರೀ ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯವರ ಅಂತೆಯೇ. वो ऐसा वो लड़का ऐसा बात करता है जैसे कि श्रीमान सीएम मुख्यमंत्री सिद्धरामैया जी बात करते हैं. That is what as the hope you understand. Let's move to the next one. Number 10 is or. Or is very simple one. When we use or ಅನ್ನು ಯಾವಾಗ ಬಳಸ್ತೀವಪ್ಪ? ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು. ಇಬ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ, ರೈಟ್? ಇದನ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾ ಅಂತ ಹಿಂದಿನ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಏಯ ಓ, ಮೇಯ ತುಮ್, ರೈಟ್? ಇದು ಅಥವಾ ಅದು, ನೀನು ಅಥವಾ ನಾವು, ಇವರು ಅಥವಾ ಅವರು, ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್. ಲುಕ್ ಎಟ್ ದ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. We watch KGF or Kantara movie today. Friends are planning to go for a flicks. Flicks is nothing but movie. They are under dilemma, they are under confusion. ಗೊಂದಲ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಮೂವಿ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಎರಡು ಮೂವೀಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಒಂದು KGF ಇದೆ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಕಾಂತಾರ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಸೇರ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಟುಡೇ ಇದು adverb of time ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನ ಕೊನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಕೂಡ ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ you never begin with today, right? The time of action must not be begin with the sentence must not be begin with any of the type of adverb. Well, look at, we watch KGF or Kantara movie today. Or is what? Athava. Yeah. ನಾವು ಈ ದಿನ KGF ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಂತಾರ ಚಲನಚಿತ್ರವನ್ನ ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ. What do you mean by or? ಎರಡು ಅಲ್ಲ, ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಅಂತ. KGF ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಂತಾರವನ್ನ ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು ವೀಕ್ಷಿಸ್ತೇವೆ. आज हम या KGF देखेंगे या कांतारा मूवी एंजॉय करेंगे. This is what or in a sense. Next, move to the next one. Either or. Students, this either or is known as correlative conjunction. As I told you in the beginning, I have mixed all the conjunctions just to introduce you, because conjunction is a very lengthy topic. As I told you, if you want to correct simple to compound, compound to complex, or compound to complex to simple, complex to compound, compound to simple, compound to complex, one must know the conjunctions very thoroughly. It is just an introductory part. This video I'm gonna make it for school going children, college children, and those who are attending for SSC, MTS, CHSL exam, those who are planning to crack the exams of FDC, SDC, or some other exams. Move to the next one. Next one is either or. Children, it is not either or. The very pronunciation in British English is either or. What do you mean by either or? Either or is nothing but or only, but the style is different. Or and either are no difference at all. There are two styles of using athava. Either or in the sense a ya wo, idu athava atu, nanu athava neenu, main ya tum ya aap. Same it is. Look at the example. Either we watch KGF or Kantara movie today. See, we watch KGF or Kantara movie today. The same sentence you can begin with. Either we watch KGF or Kantara movie today. Nothing but ಈ ದಿನ ನಾವು ಒಂದು KGF ಮೂವಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ನೋಡೋಣ ಅಥವಾ ಕಾಂತಾರ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. आज हम या KGF मूवी एंजॉय करेंगे या कांतारा मूवी देखेंगे. This is what the meaning. When we go with the next one, neither nor. Children, the very excuse the very pronunciation is, it is not neither nor. We pronounce it neither nor. What do you mean by neither nor? Either or is a positive sentence, whereas neither nor is a negative sentence. When we use either or, ಎರಡರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು, fine, you understand that. When we use neither nor, ಎರಡು ಬೇಡ, दोनों नहीं चाहिए, दोनों मूवी नहीं देखेंगे, ना ये मूवी देखेंगे ना वो मूवी देखेंगे, ना मैं बॉम्बे जाऊंगा ना तुम जाओगे, समथिंग लाइक. ಇವತ್ತು ನಾವು KGF ಮೂವಿನ ನೋಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಕಾಂತಾರ ಮೂವಿ ನೋಡೋದು ಬೇಡ, ಎರಡು ಬೇಡ. That is what neither. So either or is a positive, we use it in positive sense, whereas neither nor we use it in negative sense. Look at the same sentence. Neither we watch KGF nor Kantara movie today. ಈ ದಿನ ನಾವು KGF ಮೂವಿನೂ ನೋಡಲ್ಲ, ಕಾಂತಾರ ಮೂವಿನೂ ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಲ್ಲ. That is what neither nor. Well, last few more students, let's look at. Number 13 is if. Children, you know what is this? If is a very beautiful conjunction. If I write it if is nothing but conditional. What is it? If it is a condition, there is a poem on if. If you are a literature student, you know very well that. You'll be knowing it. Children, if is nothing but condition, sharattu. ಒಂದು ಪಕ್ಷ ನೀನು ಹೀಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವಾಗ ಹಾಗಾಗತ್ತೆ, ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಯೂಸ್. ಅಗರ್ ತುಮ್ ಐಸಾ ಕರೋಗೆ ತಬ್ ಜಾಕೆ ವೈಸಾ ಹೋಗಾ, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಫ್ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅ ಬೇಸಿಕ್ ವರ್ಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಇಸ್. There are 4 kinds of conditionals in English. We say that if conditional, conditional 0, conditional 1, conditional 2 and conditional 3. 0 to 3, there are 4 conditionals. I have chosen one among them, if. Look at the sentence. Now you may ask me what is the meaning of if in Hindi and Kannada. Children, in Kannada if I say what is if is nothing but ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ, ಒಂದು ಪಕ್ಷ. If you go to village in Karnataka, they say zer karta. That is nothing but if, children, right? Village students can understand. Again, if I talk in Hindi, what do you mean by if? If in the sense agar, magar, something like that. The same sense. Look at the sentence. Catch me if you can. Catch me if you can. A little sister challenges elderly brother, brother, catch me if you can. What do you mean by if? ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹಿಡಿ ಅಣ್ಣ ನೋಡೋಣ, ನನ್ನ ಮಗು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ಪುಟ್ಟ ಬಾಲಕಿ ಅಣ್ಣನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅಣ್ಣ ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹಿಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ, ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಆದ್ರೆ. ಅಗರ್ ತುಜ್ಸೆ ಹೋ ಸಕ್ತಾ ಹೈ ಚಲೋ ಮುझे ಪಕड़ के दिखाओ. The little sister says the challenges to brother. That is what if. One simple example. Because catch me if you can in the sense again modal verb. I'll make a separate video on can, could, may, might, should, must, used to, need to, ought to, dare to. I'll make a separate video. But my video will be in dual language, like English, Kannada as well as Hindi. Right? Look at it. Now, if one ವೇಳೆ, catch me if you can. ಒಂದು ವೇಳೆ ನಿನ್ನಿಂದ ಆದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಹಿಡಿ ನೋಡೋಣ. अगर तुझसे हो सकता है चलो मुझे पकड़ के दिखाओ. That was अगर, if, one वेळे, this is one. Next one is unless. What do you mean by unless? Children, unless is one more beautiful conjunction. Utna kiye bina, itna kiye bina. If you ask me in Kannada, unless ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡದೇನೆ ನೀ ಹೀಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ, ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡದೇನೆ ನೀನು IAS ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. This is the sense we use. Look at the sentence. You can't crack most of the competitive exams. So this example is based on competitive exams. This might be state or central government exams. See, what are the example? You can't crack the competitive exams. ನೀನು ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಾತ್ಮಕ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯನ್ನ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರೆ, ಭೇದಿಸಲಾರೆ. ತುಮ್ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಪಾಸ್ नहीं कर सकते. ಯಾವುದು? Unless you learn English. You know, children, 90% of all the state and central government exams, English is compulsory. You know very well. And it is a beautiful sentence and it is a reality. But ಸತ್ಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, 90% ಎಷ್ಟೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಾತ್ಮಕ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳಿದೆ, ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಹೊರತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಬೇಕೇ ಬೇಕು. So beautiful sentence. Let's read. You can't crack most of the competitive exams unless you learn English. ಅರ್ಥ ಏನು? ನೀನು ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಲಿಯದ ಹೊರತು ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಾತ್ಮಕ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳನ್ನ ಭೇದಿಸಲಾರೆ, ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಲಾರೆ, ಉತ್ತೀರ್ಣಲಾಗಲಾರೆ. आप अंग्रेजी सीखे बिना, सीखना तो पड़ेगा, उतना किए बिना आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम से कभी भी पास नहीं कर सकते, पास नहीं हो सकते. ब्यूटीफुल कंजंक्शन, दैट इज unless. इतना किए बिना. Last two more examples. Next one is since. When I take classes based on conjunctions, I ask the children. I have lots of school and college going children, and school teachers, they come to learn under me. College lecturers, they come to learn under me. For PSI case translation, banking exams, SSC and UPSC comprehension CSAT, these are all my areas I usually teach. I go around right and teach these all. When I ask the children what is since, someone says the since in the sense sir tab se, since 1920, 1920 right? Some say 1920 se. Not exactly, children. That is preposition of time. Here since as a conjunction. When you use since as a conjunction, since is nothing but usu wajah se. Since ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಅರ್ಥ ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ, right? ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ since ಗೆ for that reason. Since ಬಂದಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಯಾವತ್ತೂ ಪ್ರಪೋಸಿಷನ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ ಹೋಗಬೇಡಿ. Read the sentence first. What is the sentence? I did not invite him. There was a function going on, a party, some celebration at my home. I did not invite him. मैंने उसको दावत नहीं दिया, मैंने उसे नहीं बुलाया, ನಾನು ಅವನನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಮಂತ್ರಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ. I did not invite him. You know why? The reason is since he is a troublemaker. What do you mean by troublemaker? Fly in the ointment. Kebab mein haddi, 𝘉𝘈𝘚𝘈𝘈 kardi bittange. That is called. I did not invite him. ನಾನು ಅವನನ್ನ ಆಮಂತ್ರಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ since ಕಾರಣ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ he is a troublemaker. ಅವನೊಬ್ಬ ತೊಂದರೆ ಕೊಡುವವನಾಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆ ಕಾರಣಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅವನನ್ನ ಸ್ವಾಗತಿಸಲಿಲ್ಲ. वो कबाब में हड्डी है, उस वजह से मैंने उसे नहीं बुलाया, मैंने उसे दावत नहीं दिया. This is what since. If you say since 2020 I have been speaking English, I repeat, since 2020 I have been speaking English. ನಾನು 2020ರಿಂದ ಇಂಗ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. This since is purely preposition of time. That's the difference. Hope you understand. Last but not the least, the final conjunction of the day in my video is both dash dash and. Children, there are number of conjunctions. As I told you, it is just an introductory part. ನಾನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ರೀಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. I want to reach you. मैं आप तक पहुंचना चाहता हूं, like something like basic ideas I can give, right? Both dash dash and. What do you mean by both dash dash and? Dash ಮತ್ತು dash ಎರಡು, dash और dash दोनों. When you write in English, the syntax changes. ಪದಗಳ ಅದಲು ಬದಲು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That you should learn. English ಅಲ್ಲಿ, you know how you write both dash dash and. When you write both, you write one name and second name. But in Kannada, one name and second name, finally we use both. This is what you have to remember. Look at the example. Both KGF and Kantara. I told you, both I have written. First name KGF and second name Kantara. Let me repeat. Both KGF and Kantara are pan-India movies. अर्थ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಇದ್ರದ್ದು, इसका मतलब क्या है? ये जो KGF और कांतारा है ना, दोनों पैन इंडिया मूवीज हैं. इफ यू से कन्नಡ, KGF ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಂತಾರ ಎರಡು ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಚಲನಚಿತ್ರಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಹೋಪ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಎಂಜಾಯ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮತ್ತೆ ಹೊಸ ವಿಡಿಯೋದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಡ್ಯುಯಲ್ ಟ್ರಿಯಲ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಗ್ವೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸೋ ಮಚ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ದ ಡೇ. ಸರ್ವೇ ಜನ ಸುಖಿನೋ ಭವಂತು.